Hi, Anti-Society. Welcome back to the Antisocial Planet. Today we are checking out P1Harmony's Sad Song. Now, I'm gonna go on a limb and assume that this song, at least sonically, is not sad. Lyrically, who knows? But given P1Harmony's track record with lead singles, I'm gonna say that it probably bops, at least sonically. Lyrically, though, they can get me my feelings. I'm a little bit concerned going into this one, but I'm also excited to have some more P1Harmony music and also music video to go with it. But I'm also okay with being surprised. That's fine by me. Gonna check out the song first with the lyric video and then get into the music video and I don't know, see what they got for me this go round. I don't know what to expect because I feel like there's gonna be a juxtaposition. So I'm like, I don't feel like these pictures give me anything to really work with. Ooh. Who's making that noise? Not to immediately interrupt, but who is making that noise? Which is something that I say every time I listen to a P1Harmony song because they always have like vocal samples at the back. Usually it's like unpack or juxtaposition that are just like making noises in the back. But okay, love this, like the keys with that like filter through them. Sounds very like stilted. Ooh, wait, no, okay. Interesting sonically. Like, I'm pulling it apart. I feel like I haven't heard anything like that production-wise from them, which is why I'm like, I'm ping-ponging back and forth between like production, lyrics, and like vocal performance because the production is distracting me because I'm fairly certain I've never, obviously it's got like a dance beat to it, but there's something more minimalistic in it. Like I was saying with the keys, it has kind of this like stilted feeling to it in a way that I'm not quite used to from a P1Harmony song. But it's a little bit like higher up. I feel like they tend to have stuff that's really like, bassy and like rhythm section heavy because they tend to have like very like dance forward sounding production when it comes to their lead singles. And then Intak's performance there, like the almost like bitter laugh that was in part of there, that was like a nice little bit of storytelling. Lyrics though of being like, hey, I'm gonna like never let it show and or never let anyone know, this idea of hiding what you're feeling. And then we had the am I your hero, and then we had that in Killing It with all the promotions of I'm Your Hero and ending up the album of them saying, hey, I want to be your hero with the, was it Street Star? That they had that lyrical content of wanting to be someone's hero. Call me and I can like rush in or whatever. So it's interesting to have that immediately callback, right? To have the previous comeback and you're pulling that forward into the next story to set up what they're going to be doing for this one. It's just a nice little pass off between the two of them. Interesting. Yeah, like it's not until here we get some bass. That little like cry he's putting his voice there too. Ooh, okay, I know I'm interrupting right before, but Kyo putting that little cry into his voice. I love that Intak had some of that, like some of the tension that he was putting in some of them, and then having Kyo have that little cry in there with that little like, build up, like work up in the vocal melody. Ooh, those layered vocals. Ooh, and then that sad song, they have this like wind down sound and one of the ad libs in the back. Ooh, okay. I feel like I'm like underreacting of what's going on in my head. So I'm going to debrief because I feel like because the production is so different, this is a very different direction from other stuff that they've done that I'm like keyed in, which is great. I love that they're surprising me with this sonically. Like, it definitely has elements of stuff that they've had, like those layered vocals in the chorus, having those vocal samples and like ad libs that are adding to like specifically the percussion there. Love that we like had like no bass for the first few lines until unpack came in, and then we got a little bit of that in, which is why I was saying it feels a little bit more like the beat is like higher up than a lot of their normal stuff is. They usually have a ton of stuff filling at the bottom of their production in terms of bass and percussion and like beat pad stuff to really give like the lower end a lot of like oomph behind it, because they tend to have like dance beats, and this one feels like it's sitting a lot higher up there. There's definitely some musical influence in this that I'm not going to be able to guess correctly, and I don't want to miscategorize it, so I'm sorry that I'm not putting a specific name to it, but it's definitely a musical influence that I'm not used to them doing. Those like keys coming through, and again has that kind of like dance beat, but it's not in the same vein as their normal stuff, which is fascinating as well. Interesting. No, I'm just like, I'm a little bit flabbergasted because it's not something that I've heard from them before. And as someone who's been listening to them for as long as I have and has heard everything previous to this point, it's definitely bringing me in. And I like that. I like that we got like Killing It, right? Their first full album. This is the next comeback after that. And they're resetting a little bit, which I like. Why are we putting a whistle in there? I was just gonna say we have the like up repetition, which Dunks Up has had in multiple of his lyrics, but I like that it's something that has a different vibe in this one. Like, again, we had it in Killing It. He has that in his lines during the bridge, where he has that repetition of we're going like up, up, right? When he's going back and forth with Soul. Anyway, and I like the, like, we have a different mood, right? In this one. So it's very much that, like, they feel like they have a different one. Even in the chorus, it says we rise up again. It definitely feels like that. I was saying we had their previous comeback, which was the full album. And then this one being the, how do you continue after that point? So having a first album is a good kind of like landmark moment in their career. And now they're trying some other stuff. And I think that's really cool to see some of that, especially with them having made it this far. I think that they've definitely worked a lot to get to this point. And I've talked before about how I'm excited that they're getting like more and more recognition with every comeback that they're having. And it's really fun to see people discovering them and seeing them grow. So I like that they're pivoting into something else in terms of their performance and the production, the overall sound for this one. I'm sure I had other thoughts. I definitely did. Look, it's throwing me for a loop, so it's going to take me some time to calibrate. Ooh, the like breath. Ooh, okay. Theo, oh my gosh, you're in the song. I just clicked in my brain. I was like, have we heard him yet? Anyway, there's like interesting in terms of them with doing the line distribution too, just like to pull from that, is having lots of focal points with them. I feel like, yes, they've had it where they do a good job of kind of giving people parts, but this feels more like they're less, I don't know, trying to fit everybody in early on, like balance everything out right away. And this feels more like they're okay with leaving some space for it to be like focused on like just one or two people at any given moment, which I think is interesting too, to not have some of the different line distribution that we did before with Soul's part, because we go back for Soul vocals, so we're gonna do that. Loved that we got Kyo putting like a little bit more into his performance here, right? There's a little more energy behind it. It was a little bit more subdued at the beginning, and then also Soul having a little bit of grit in his voice, which I've not heard from him. He tends to have a very soft delivery. There's definitely points where he shifts the sound placement forward and we get something a little more pingy, and we get that a lot more as kind of back vocal stuff. But at least, especially in the Killin' It album, he tended to have a lot more like softer, airy delivery, which they did a really good job, I felt, of incorporating his part in, of changing up the mood of the song and the like overall vibe of it as they transition from one part to another. So it's nice to get to hear his voice back. He's allowed to have as many lines as he wants. I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to take what is offered to me. Okay. But it is nice to hear him have that like bit of grit and texture in his voice that I'm not used to hearing, at least not that forward in the production. Even though I feel bad for bopping because the song's sad. Ooh, love that vibrato. ooh, okay, we changed the vibe. But even this, like the vocals in the back, and I was just thinking like the feel like another sad song both can be like, hey, I feel like what is talked about in sad songs, right? Obviously this is them being like, lyrically it's about struggling with something and covering something up and not letting people know just like how much you're affected. And this can be a description of I feel like the lyrics in those sad songs, but also them being like, hey, I feel like putting out another sad song, putting out something that is a bit of a downer. And like I was saying, usually with their lead singles, it is not something that is more in their like ballad area, right? Like they have ballads, they have beautiful, gorgeous songs that have heartbreaking lyrics that can get me in my feelings when I'm not totally prepared. They sneak up on me sometimes, right? But this song very much fitting into that like more upbeat dance vibe, still different, right? They're still doing some new stuff with it, but it's like taking some of the influence of what their lyrical content is like with sad songs and putting it into something that has a fun beat. And it's, hey, make it something different, make everyone dance. And even like Mad Song, talking about them putting like a little bit of grit in their voice, even in Tuck's bitter laugh that he had, right? That was not a like humorous laugh. That was definitely feeling like, I feel awful about this situation. I feel wronged. I feel like I've lost something that I didn't want to lose. So I think that it's so interesting to play off a bunch of those expectations, right? Not only is the song different sonically, production wise for them, it's also like different in terms of stuff that they put out before. Like usually what they have is like a super like hype, I'm great kind of song, right? Which is fine. I love that. I bop to those songs all the time. But it's interesting to have something that's about, hey, I'm actually struggling, I'm not doing great, and I'm gonna put out a song that is like still fun and dancey so no one can figure out how I'm actually feeling. I don't know, there's so many layers of like me being like, this song is so interesting to me and I feel like I'm not going to be able to do it justice on the first go through, but I'm excited to see something so different from them and a different delivery from them. We're changing up the production though. Ooh. Ooh. I'm sorry, sweetie pie. We gotta go back for that. Like, I was not expecting that drawn out of a delivery of that line and then all of those layered vocals. Like, emphasizing it, like, you'll miss me.
Every song we feel like another sad song. 모두가 채워주는 내 song. 내 가슴에 멍드는 blues 내게는 다른 truth. They make you wanna dance. 그래도 난 네게 내 feel like another sad song. 모두가 채워주는 내 song. 같은 데서 다른 move. 엇갈려버린 groove. They make you wanna dance. 그래도 난 네게 내 feel like another sad song.
Ooh. Oh, I love all the layered vocals that they had too, all the ad-libs that were going on. I rolled my eyes a little bit because Kyo doesn't have to show off like that, okay? No. I know you're a good singer. Back up, okay? I still have talent aggression when it comes to him. Wow, yeah. No, I loved how different that was. I feel like it's gonna take a little bit from, no, I enjoyed it, but it's gonna take a little while for my brain to calibrate because that is not the sound that I expect from a P1Harmony song, which is fantastic. I've said it before in other reactions to other groups that regardless of how I feel about the song, I want a group to surprise me. I love showing up to a song, no idea what I'm going to be getting. And even if I know the group, they just like pivot and they're like, we're doing something else. And I'm like, that is interesting and different. And yes, I want to hear what you do with that. So I love that they brought some of that into this. I love that we got a little bit of a different vocal delivery from some of them, getting some of that like grit and like aggression. The like ad-libs were fun too, but putting them in a way that I feel like is a little bit more, like I was saying in some of my previous P1Harmony reactions, they have a tendency of taking like vocal samples and using those as part of the production, but they can also be like, have a ton of posts on them or buried in the back and very much fit into the like mixing of the production as opposed to like vocal lines. Whereas like this felt more like forward. It felt more like they were intentionally having those as like more ad-libs than parts of the production, which was really interesting too. And makes me a little bit worried about what they're talking about in the lyrics because it feels like maybe this album is going to be like a bit of a downer lyrically anyway. And I said it in Killing It. I was like, I feel like y'all went through something with some of these songs. Like I feel like y'all were struggling with something, needed a friend, needed some helping hand of some kind. And maybe this is them leaning into that a little bit more. Again, deviating maybe from some of their other stuff and like sonically and experimenting a little bit more. I would love to see what else they're going to be doing. I know that there's already some different stuff because I think we have a unit song, don't we, with Intak and Jungsub? I don't know all about it yet. Okay, I try to go into reactions as unaware as possible because I like to be surprised. But I'm very interested now to see what the rest of this album is going to be and the kinds of stuff they're going to do in it. But again, like a little bit cautious of the lyrical content because they already can get me with some of their songs. So I don't need them coming in full force with that. But interested like what the music video is going to be, because if they're changing up the sound, I'm assuming they're going to change up the visuals. I already was thinking that with some of the, I've definitely seen like some of the like photo stuff related to this, right? Some of them are here, the like promotion stuff while it was happening. It definitely looked different to me, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting that we're getting like a little bit of a different vibe with this that I'm not used to. But I'm like, I don't know, is that promotional photos or is that actually accurate to like what the music videos and stuff are like? But now I feel like maybe we're deviating, and I'm here for it. I do appreciate that, like the moment, this opening scene right here, immediately I'm like, that's Seoul, isn't it? Like whoever can't figure out how to sit on a scooter or has just decided rules are meant to be broken, it's Seoul. It's always Seoul. Interesting, again, aesthetic, but we've seen them scattered like this before in, am I thinking, Do It Like This? Anyway, not important, possibly important. Repair Shop. Interesting, again, for the lyrical content of this, I feel like they might need a little bit of TLC. It just seems like they're going through something. We fix anything. Did someone try calling the number? Can you call it? The acting is 100% with that typing. What? I'm sorry. I was laughing at Seoul being a cutie pie with that lip trill. I was not ready for Jung to get whacked in the face with the banana of all things. Okay, no, I'm calibrating. Aww. The styling is crazy already. Ooh, choreo. Okay, no, I have several things, and I know that I probably shouldn't be laughing because it's like sad or whatever. Love the like the band-aid details. Styling is great on this. It hurts me to see them slightly damaged though, because these are my boys. Okay, so I'll fight whoever I need to fight. Just point me in the direction. Okay, but did we slip on a banana peel and then fall into a mattress, and then there was like the outline, like the cartoony chalk outline for like a crime scene? I have several questions. The color grading on this is also good though. He said acting 1000%. I like the commitment. Ooh, love the camera like following him. Dang, we look beat up. Ooh, sorry, just registered in my brain also with boxing ring. We've had that before. Are we deliberately calling back to some stuff? Which, cool. Especially if they're like, hey, I feel like another sad song. They've definitely written those before. They definitely have some like heavier stuff, even in like lead singles of them like referencing certain things. And it's maybe we're like calling back through some of that if we're like pivoting some of the career to be like, hey, here's a callback to something we've done before, but through a very different lens. Because last time we saw the boxing ring, it was very like bright colors and they had the fun signs around, and I'm like, we also had like Intak who started off the rap of that one. Anyway, I'm sorry, got lost in my head for a second, but it was like very bright colors. It was very like fun. It was very like whimsical. It was very polished K-pop looking. And now it's a little bit more grungy, right? It's struggling. It's like they look beat up. There's what, bloodstains on the floor now? It feels different. The darker coloring in this. Maybe that's what we're doing too. Ooh, that like pause and activate. This is very intense choreo too. I'm sorry. Just okay. So like we have the confetti, and then we had the pieces of paper around Kyo before, which I think is interesting. I wonder if that partly is maybe, I don't know, like notes or something that's kind of like swirling around you that you can't escape. Are we making a heart at some point right now? Sorry, just clocked in talk there. Love the choreo that I'm seeing so far as well. And I have so many thoughts. I have so many thoughts with the visuals. The like blue stain mixing with the red. was smooth, that like leg out move. The way that they're just like not reacting. Ooh, the choreo looks cool for this one. I mean, their choreo is always cool, but yeah, are we okay? Oh, we're repairing. Wait. Oh, we got a little heart. I was like, what do we have on our cheek? And it's like little, almost like lines that you get in like anime in the heart. That's cute. Are we repairing him because he fell, taking him to the repair shop? I feel like there's probably so many like Easter eggs in this that I'm not gonna catch. Emotional test chart. Wait, out of context? I can't. They shouldn't be making me laugh because the sad song, but the warning out of context is so good. I was also thinking we had the like chair that they were sitting, killing it. We had the like dentist chair. And also when Jungsub was doing his rap in the second verse, there's a part where have someone in the chair. I don't remember who it is. I know it was Intak during his part. But again, it feels like we're pulling things forward. It's almost like Operation. You know the game? Oh. Helmet, sweetie. Wait. No, not the alien. That just makes sense. I was trying to see what it said. I'm lost. And like facing him. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Especially with Soul, okay? Because if there is anyone that I will throw hands for without a second thought, it is Soul. Anyone comes at him and I'm like, we ride at dawn. Ooh, wait, I didn't look at the sign that Theo had. Go away, I'm sad. And it says laugh every day in the back. Aw, don't come at me. Don't come at me. Processing. Ooh, and a hat. So I'm not completely off. Like, I feel like we're referencing things. And even like some of the sets, like with the graffiti and even the like stuff like hanging in the back, I'm like, that makes me think of like the flags that they've had. They've definitely been in like an industrial setting where there's like the graffiti and all around. So I feel like we're intentionally referencing past stuff, but again, through a different lens, having it referenced with like different color grading, much grungier in terms of just like aesthetic. It's way less polished. The colors are not like popping out. They don't have like the pastels and like bright colors that some of the other ones did. I'm interested to see if they bring that into the choreo. Isn't like the eyes on the sign like killing it reference? Ooh. Be careful, don't electrocute someone again. Oof. You didn't have to come at me so hard, sir. Dang. He did so that like his life depended on it. Ooh, that shoulder move. Whoa, that transition. Dang. Sorry, I was smiling because Kyo had a cute little smile laugh thing and I was like, that's cute. And then I got distracted where we got punched out by Jungsub and then it like transitioned. When he backs up, cutie pie. I'm like, what did we transition into? Ooh, the sign like warping. The lollipop dripping makes me anxious. You think you're gonna write something on this and I'm not going to notice? Aw, so does Alone too, but it still shines. Y'all gonna be sweet this whole time? Don't come at me. Ooh, and it missed him. Don't make me sad. Being towed. At least someone came for him. Ooh. The little leg move feels like we've done that. Alien. I like that like sad song. Yeah, the like sad song. That's cute. But I'm also worried. Because there are points where I'm like, oh, they look... Aww. Happy. And then it changes. And he's alone. With those sprinklers on. Which also stresses me out. I feel like there's probably so many things in that. I feel like I tried to catch them, okay? I tried to catch some stuff, but I definitely feel like I'm onto something with them specifically referencing past songs and settings. And I feel like there was also some stuff choreo-wise. I didn't get to see all of it, but there were definitely like a few moves where I'm like, I feel like we've had something similar to that in previous stuff. Obviously, some of that could have just been like preference of bringing some of that into like their choreo, but some of it could be deliberate of them, again, referencing back to previous stuff through a different lens and then having like specific scenes that harken back to it. Even the scene where they had the sprinklers on and they were dancing reminds me specifically of Jump. It makes me, there might be other references, but it makes me think of when they had the floor had like the layer of water on it and they were dancing. We've definitely had, have we had the like cameras that followed them? Like the cameras where it's like steady on like their face while they're moving. I feel like this is going to challenge my knowledge. I feel like a fake fan if I don't get all of the references. But there's like moments where they look happy and then I'm like, I feel bad for smiling. I don't want it to end. Little alien dancing. I like that. The like sad song. Even though it's sad, even though it's like an ending with the sprinklers too. We have the blue coloring. So going into like sad scenes, there's usually like rain of some kind, the blue coloring coming through. Even in like their styling, we got rid of some of the like warmer lighting that we had in that scene in previous parts. Yeah, no, I feel like there's probably so many Easter eggs in that I'm gonna realize later on. I liked that it felt different. It had humor though in it, which is something that I always like with P1Harmony music, is the sense of humor that they bring into all of their music, but almost like this like self-deprecating humor, or if I tell a joke then it'll redirect from how I'm feeling, right? Like it's a defense mechanism feeling in this one, as opposed to just like them being weird. Lovingly, I adore them, but they're weird. There are lots of moments where I'm like, no amount of context will ever explain why that is there. Like the warning out of context. And I'm like, I can't defend that one. I'm sorry. I'm very intrigued by what this album is going to be now, because I feel like they're deliberately pivoting away. And even like the visuals in this feel very like reality grounded, even though there's like humor, even though there's like a dancing little alien keychain thing, that it still feels very grounded in reality, and like the humor feels like they're trying to pivot away attention from what they're actually going through and what they're feeling. Ooh, I'm gonna have to sit with this one. Also, correcting myself here, I'll probably correct myself in the edit, but it's back down where it starts with them all lounging around, and then Jugsub starts trouble, right? Which in this one too, he's the one who's typing on the computer, and that's what starts off like the action in the video. I definitely feel like there's probably a bunch of references in here to previous stuff, which I like. Again, not only because they're doing something different and they're putting in those references, so there's like a comparison point, right? It's, hey, from the kind of over the top, fun, very bright colored delivery that it was previously, to this like much more like grungy or more reality rooted music video, darker coloring, contrasting those two things in a very different light. And also, again, Killin' It was their first full-length album. This is them going into a different phase of them as a group and as musicians. So I think that it's fun to have the next comeback have references directly back to some of their previous stuff, and to have those like Easter eggs there. And I definitely feel like there's probably like lots of other stuff in there, like things that I didn't catch, maybe were related to like promotions or stuff that was going to be coming up or whatever, right? Easter eggs, like clues, puzzles to figure out why the promotions were happening. So I'm definitely going to have to sit with this one, but loved the song, loved the different vocal performance we got from them. The music video was like fun, but also like stuff in it that I'm like, no, don't. I don't know who Jungsub was ready to fight in that choreo, but I'm back him up. Okay. I don't know why he's trying to fight me, but hey, as someone who is like, fight me, same. Okay. He was like, hey, Soul crashed his scooter. I'm gonna pick him up and I'm gonna fight whoever comes in between. And I support that. So I'm definitely gonna have to go through this one and pull out my knowledge of previous music videos. Oh no, maybe I have to rewatch them to get all of the references. But definitely let me know down in the comments of stuff that I might have missed and things that you noticed while watching it, because I think that it was really fun to have all those references in there and makes me very intrigued about what the rest of this album is going to be and what their sound is going to be going forward. But I hope you enjoyed listening to that along with me. You can click Let's Play it to go see my previous reactions, or you can subscribe to me next time I post a P1 Harmony reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.